Okay, so here's exactly a CV that someone shared, and I'm gonna just open it. Honestly, I haven't read this, I haven't looked at it in a whole lot of detail, but they say that hiring managers spend at most 20 to 30 seconds reviewing your CV and then making a decision on how to move forward with your candidacy for a position. Okay, so we do have some good things here. We have a clear area where we have some of the contact information at the very top. Of course, I did change these numbers and these email, the phone number and the email address. That's all, that's not real numbers. Like I said, I'm trying to protect some of the information here. Career objectives is good. Personal data. Okay, personal data is an interesting question. I understand in Europe and then maybe some of the countries. I think this person's in Nigeria, right? They recommend putting all this kind of information. You don't generally want to include all this within an NGO or United Nations CV. When you're applying to the UN, of course, you have the P11, which requests all this kind of information, including your weight and height, which is I've never figured out why they do that, but it is a required form within the P11. But within a CV itself, because you generally this is when I was reviewing within the UN system, the P11 is so difficult to read that I would hardly spend any time on it. It was for me the P11 has always been something that is for HR. So if you make it through the your CV is what I would look at. We invite you to the interview, and then we end up looking at you for the making an offer. Then I'm going to send the CV, rather the P11 to the HR and give feedback. Let them use that for whatever they needed. But really, as a hiring manager, I would only care about the CV itself. On a CV though, so don't want to necessarily include all of this information, whether your birth, your sex, your origin, all these things. So I would do recommend taking this off. Your career objectives um, are should be is good that is kind of clear, and I do think that is to contribute to growth and progress of a reputable organization. That's good. Now, what I do recommend to put at the top of CVs is what can be called the key qualifications, which is a really short summary of what are the main factors that make you stand out, and it should be sort of bullet points, 3 to 5 bullet points of why you're really the top candidate for this particular position. And so I would incorporate the idea of a career objective within these key qualifications and not just as one line. And so that's going to be one thing that immediately jumps out for me here. Now, the area of specialization, medicine and surgery with special interest in public and global health, that's good. But tell me more in terms of how this connects with your key qualifications. And so what is it that this particularly gives you for the job that you're applying to? And so this person has some voluntary experience. That's great. Let's just read through a couple of them. Training primary healthcare workers. Okay, so one really quick tip to include here that makes this really jump off the page a lot more and a lot stronger for a reader is, well, how many people have you actually trained? Include numbers and data and statistics whenever possible. It gives people an easy way to understand what is happening, what level this person is at, and what is it that they've done in their career. So, if you've done 10 or if you've done 1,000, whatever it is, just include it. It gives a way to really visualize and see what's happening with it within this particular skill and this work that the person has done. Initiated a program on Bono Radio and Television. That's wonderful. And public sensitization. That's great. Now, here's an example of something that I would look at and say, well, okay, well, what happened with that? That's exciting. That's interesting. Initiated a program. Maybe you want to tell me a bit more about what was the problem that caused you to initiate that. Tell me a bit more about the story here. You can include that within the bullet point there. And that makes it a lot more exciting to see what is it that was a challenge that this radio and television corporation in the public sensitization issue was responding to. And then tell me what happened. Right? What now that you initiated this program, what happened? What is its state right now? How many people did it reach? Again, numbers, bring that in, and so see how to tell that story some more.